Now, the ever-glamorous Dame Joan Collins has been weighing into the weight loss jab debate. In a new interview, she says she'd never dream of taking them. I've seen too many disastrous faces, she says. And if you're going to stop laughing, stop laughing, Judi. And if you're going to lose weight, you have to cut down. So, do you think that we secretly judge those who use the jabs rather than go down the traditional route of losing weight? Do you think we judge them, Judes?
I mean, you've got Joan Collins here judging people, you know, so I think that says it all. I mean, look, I think people are judged no matter what. Myself being a plus-size woman, whether I lose weight, if I put on weight, I'm judged either way. It's like, oh, my gosh, you've put on weight, or, oh, my gosh, how did you lose the weight? And I think people who are making decisions to use support or alternative ways to help them or assist them, it's up to them. Yes. If they're going to take the possible risk, if that, or maybe take the long-term or the short-term way that they think helps them, it's up to them. I don't think we should be involved or have any kind of judgment, especially if you haven't been someone that's been overweight.
OK, so that's... And I think that's what the difference is I think in this debate there always has to be a distinction between those who are overweight, have a high BMI and who are clinically obese and those who are not but are still using the jab. And I think there has to be a distinction in whatever conversation that you have regarding the jabs. I mean, the stats here are 1.6 million UK adults used the drugs in the year leading up to January 2026. The vast majority, that's roughly 95%, are estimated to be buying them privately as opposed to getting prescribed them on the NHS through their GP. If you're over a certain BMI, your GP will prescribe them for you. And private users pay an average of £150 to £200.
So that percentage, is that people who are buying private who are not obese?
Well, so if you are seen as clinically obese, your GP will prescribe them for you on the NHS.
Oh, really? Even if you're not diabetic?
Yeah, because it comes down to...
Your BMI?
Yeah, down to your BMI, restricting other health conditions that can come alongside being clinically obese, for example. So all we know, the vast majority, 95% of people are buying them privately. But for those who are buying them privately who perhaps are not classified as being clinically obese, do we think that people judge them? So, for example, two of you could be the same weight. You could be a size 14, for example, size 16, for example. You both used to go to the gym loads, work out loads, and then your friend takes a shortcut and takes the jab rather than carrying on. Do you think that those people get judged?
I think everybody gets judged. I think, like what Judi said, you get judged whether you lose weight or whether you gain weight. It's something that we do. I think we're also a very weight-obsessed society. You know, it's gossip, it's conversation, it's also wondering, why are you losing weight? Why am I not losing weight? I'm from a dance industry where the thinner you are, the more successful you seem, the more beautiful you seem, the more it's promoted. The skinnier dancers, they always look healthier. And then I always think it doesn't really look like a role model, something that children should look up to. But for them and in that culture, in the dance world, that is something that's very much promoted. Not necessarily jabs, but being smaller and being thin, looking really, really skinny. It's something that people really look up to.
Do you think that we judge people, Janet?
Well, we do, and we're overwhelmingly encouraged to do so. What bothers me is that very high percentage of people who are obtaining these drugs privately don't have necessarily a doctor or a rational person monitoring how they're taking them and what the journey is that they're on. So to me, the danger in that is, when have you gone far enough and for both your health and, you know, it's obvious. You can see people on the street who have exceeded this drug because their faces can change. Not everybody's face changes, but some people who have taken it at too high a strength and for too long, they've just radically changed their appearance. But it's almost like they're blind to it, because as a society...
It's a different kind of body dysmorphia.
Yes, it is body dysmorphia. And as a society, as Judi has said, everybody thinks that thin is the route to go down.
It does, but there is a lot. I mean, I would argue that there can be an element of jealousy as well when it comes to those that make their own grown-up decision to take a weight loss jab, because, you know, no one really can say for sure what the ramifications will be years down the line on an individual's body when they're not being monitored by a doctor, for example. But you can have those individuals that really the thought of taking that, it just is unfathomable.
Well, yeah,
but then you sort of see other people, you know, they're in the gym every day and they're not having the same outcomes as somebody else who has taken the jab. And there has to be an element of jealousy with
But
that.
that's life. I mean, we can live with that. That's fine. That's life. You are going to be
I just think anything that you're doing, you know, you have the conscious decision that you know that this is just not a quick fix. You have to have a lifestyle change.
Exactly.
So whether you are doing a jab, whether you are gastric, whatever you decide to do, know that it's just not short term. There's other things. And I think until you're in the position of being heavily overweight, for those who are doing it for that purpose, not for vanity, I think it's hard to judge them. But just know whatever you're doing, it's a lifestyle change. It can't be a short term.
Do it safely and do it with the guidance of a doctor.